Hello, this is the second in a series of presentations for pension scheme trustees on liability hedging. The first presentation discussed the concept of rewarded and unrewarded risks. It concluded that in theory, one should identify and neutralise material, unrewarded risks wherever possible. However, as Einstein once said, in theory and practice are the same, in practice they're not. This presentation looks at some of the practical issues regarding hedging and why, in certain circumstances, hedging can make the situation worse. The following is a cautionary fictional tale. The scene opens in the office of the managing director of a gold mining company.
Things are terrible. We hit our gold production targets every year, but profits turn out lower than expected because the gold price seems to fall year in, year out.
Hello, I'm a friendly investment banker and I'm here to help. Let me explain the concept of rewarded and unrewarded risks. For you, mining gold is a rewarded risk. You generally hit your annual production targets within budget. However, there is a 50-50 chance that the gold price will rise or fall from one year to the next. This is potentially a big risk for your business with no expected return. We finance professionals call this an unrewarded risk and believe that it should be neutralised or, as we say, hedged.
It seems to make sense not to be exposed to the volatile gold price, but I'm not sure how this hedging works.
Don't worry, it's pretty straightforward. If you lose money in your mining activities because the gold price falls, you'll make money from the gold hedge, and vice versa. It's like swings and roundabouts. Overall, it all balances out.
So how do I go about removing these unrewarded risks?
I have a colleague who will be more than happy to help. He can arrange for you to buy a financial derivative that hedges the price of gold for the next 12 months.
Sounds good. My stakeholders will be pleased that we are managing our risks.
You won't believe what's happened. The gold price has shot up over the last week. This is highly unusual and could not be forecast. We finance professionals call this a fat tail event.
Okay, but as I understand it, it's like swings and roundabouts. I lose on the gold hedge, but I will make more profit from my mining activities.
That's right, but the thing is, you have collateral calls. Basically, the losses from your derivatives need to be paid right away.
But we won't have the money to pay for these derivative losses until we mine the gold. And that will take at least 6 months.
I can see your problem. We finance professionals call this a liquidity crisis.
This is a complete disaster. The company could go bust.
I do have a colleague who'd be more than happy to help. He can sell your business to a competitor for a very modest fee. However, given your liquidity needs, you will have to accept a big discount on the valuation of the company.
What are the lessons? Well, there are a number. Investment bankers may be friendly, but you need to spend time understanding exactly what is being sold to you. Be careful how much reliance you place on computer modelling. The 1 in 100 year fat tail event seems to occur at least once every 10 years. But the key lesson I'm going to focus on is collateral management. Today, many pension schemes use derivatives with the objective of neutralising the effects of changes in interest and inflation rates. Although these hedging contracts are long-term, day-to-day losses on derivative contracts need to be settled immediately. Collateral refers to the monies that gets paid to or from the counterparty as the derivative contract goes into loss or profit. This means that trustees need to consider very carefully how they will settle possible collateral calls under extreme market conditions. What are the worst case scenarios? A bit like the gold company example, a pension scheme could find itself selling assets at a large discount in a crisis to pay for collateral calls if they do not have sufficient liquid assets. Remember, one common feature of financial crashes is that liquidity tends to dry up. Another concern is that in a period of chaotic movements in interest rates, a pension scheme could be exposed to derivative losses as bond yields rise, but become unhedged as bonds recover. The effect of this would be to lock in losses and not benefit when the market normalises. Such an event would be akin to a flash crash that's been seen in equity markets in the past. What's the conclusion? In theory, it seems sensible to hedge unrewarded risks wherever possible. In practice, hedging does not have to be an all or nothing decision. We believe the question that trustees need to consider is, what is an appropriate degree of hedging in our particular circumstances? Our next presentation on this subject looks at some of the factors that trustees need to consider when deciding their hedge ratio.